In today's English lesson, I'm going to teach you which part or parts of your brain you should use in order to speak English fluently. Are you ready? Well then, I'm teacher Tiffani. Let's jump right in. We have 4 parts to our lesson. Part number 1, left brain overreliance. Understanding the analytical trap. Let me break this down. All about the left brain. So the left brain handles analytical thinking, rules, and sequential processing. Most English learners rely heavily on their left brain, memorizing grammar rules, translating word by word, and consciously constructing sentences. While useful for understanding concepts, left brain dominance, listen closely, left brain dominance makes speaking slow, effortful, and unnatural. You see, children acquire languages primarily through right brain pattern recognition, not left brain analysis. I want us to go even deeper. Let's look at 3 different reasons. 3 reasons why left brain over-reliance blocks fluency. The first reason is analysis creates conscious processing. So when you analyze grammar rules while speaking, you're using slow, deliberate thinking. Fluency requires fast, automatic processing that bypasses conscious analysis. You've probably watched or heard one of my previous lessons where I spoke about not focusing too much on grammar. Remember, grammar is important. I'm not saying not to study grammar, but once you get to the upper intermediate and advanced English levels, you can't just focus on grammar. You now need to put that grammar into practice. But if you're relying too heavily on your left brain, analyzing everything you're saying, you won't become fluent. Reason number 2, you miss intuitive patterns. Languages have patterns and rhythms that the right brain recognizes holistically. Left brain focus on rules prevents you from feeling what sounds right. And I know it sounds a little weird, but you actually can feel that something sounds right. It's interesting. I've spoken to native English speakers, and if they're not English majors or English teachers, again, I'm an English teacher, but that was not my profession prior to becoming an English teacher on YouTube. Tech is actually where I came from. So when I speak to other native English speakers who speak English perfectly, and I ask them certain questions, they're like, I don't know, it just feels right. That's when we start leaning to the right side of our brains. We might not remember all of the grammar rules we learned as children or in high school, but we know how to apply them because the right brain kicks in. Reason number 3, you experience mental exhaustion. Conscious analysis is mentally draining. This is why speaking English feels exhausting. You're using the wrong energy-intensive brain system. Your left brain has a purpose and your right brain has a purpose, but you have to use them at the right times. So how can we do this? Let's do this. 5 applications. Here we go. 5 ways to recognize left brain over-reliance. How can you recognize if you're using your left brain too much? Number 1, grammar first thinking check. Notice if you think about grammar rules before speaking. Is this present perfect or simple past? This indicates left brain dominance. Native speakers don't do this. Again, remember, we're trying to help you use the correct part of your brain when you speak English in order to speak English fluently. If you recognize before you start speaking, you're always thinking of which grammar rule to apply, you're not speaking English fluently. You're not speaking English like a native English speaker. Here's the second way you can tell if you're relying too much on your left brain, the analytical side. Number 2, translation dependency test. So if you mentally translate from your native language, you're using sequential left brain processing instead of direct English thinking. You don't want to rely too much on your left brain when you're trying to speak English fluently. Number 3, word by word construction. I want you to pay attention to whether you build sentences word by word carefully, or if phrases or chunks from one of our previous lessons flow out automatically. Word by word is left brain. Phrases are right brain. Word by word is left brain. Phrases are right brain. You don't want to rely on the left side of your brain too much. Number 4, mental fatigue after speaking. Woo, pay attention. If English conversation exhausts you mentally beyond normal language practice tiredness, your left brain is working overtime, doing work the right brain should handle. Again, you're trying to recognize if you're relying too much on your left brain. Here's another way you can tell. Hesitation before speaking. Long pauses while mentally preparing sentences indicate left brain pre-planning. Fluent speakers begin speaking immediately because right brain patterns are automatic. So if you're taking a long time to even get words out, you're relying too heavily on the left brain. Make sense? Excellent. So again, part 1 is left brain over-reliance. You have to stop relying so much on your left brain. Here's part 2. Right brain activation. Engaging pattern recognition and intuition. All right, we understand that relying too much on the left brain is not good. What about the right brain? How do we activate it? Let me explain. So, the right brain processes patterns, rhythms, intuition, and holistic understanding. It recognizes language patterns without analyzing them. It just knows what sounds right. Activating your right brain for English means developing intuitive feel for the language through exposure to patterns, not through rule memorization. This is how children learn and how fluent speakers operate. I want to emphasize this. My lessons are not focused on beginner English learners. My lessons are focused on intermediate and advanced English learners. So if you're at the beginning stage, you need grammar rules. Once you get to that intermediate or upper intermediate, you need to start applying those grammar rules. This is who we're speaking to right now. So I want to give you the reasons though. Reasons why right brain activation, this word is a tongue twister today. Right brain activation creates natural fluency. Here is reason number 1. Pattern recognition is faster than analysis. The right brain processes patterns in milliseconds. This enables real-time speaking without conscious thought. You can just speak in the moment, repeat it as you hear it. Reason number 2, you develop language intuition. Instead of knowing rules are important. I'm not speaking to the beginners though. Instead of knowing rules, you develop a sense of what sounds right. This intuition starts to guide you accurately without conscious effort. And here's reason number 2. You access holistic understanding. The right brain processes entire phrases and sentences as patterns, enabling natural, flowing speech instead of word-by-word construction. It's making sense now, right? So now the next question is, okay, Tiff, can you tell me how can I activate my right brain to process in the way that you're telling me? Of course I can. Here's method number 1. Immersive pattern exposure. So you're going to listen to huge amounts of English, whether it be music, podcasts, TV, without analyzing. Don't analyze anything. Just allow it all to come in, enjoy it as you're listening to it, enjoy it as you're watching. Let your right brain absorb patterns unconsciously. Just experience the language. This is part 1. This is the next thing I want you to do. Part 2 is phrase learning over word learning, or method 2. Phrase learning over word learning. One more time. Phrase learning over word learning. Learn entire English phrases as single units. How's it going? Is one pattern, not 3 words. Your right brain stores and retrieves these patterns automatically. How's it going? Just grab that pattern. Not how's it going. Nope, how's it going? Grab that pattern. So phrase learning over word learning. Method number 3, music and rhythm focus. So sing English songs. I like songs. I have a father. Learn English songs. I have a maker. Whatever your song that you like, learn English songs, practice English poetry, and focus on the melody of speech. Music activates right brain processing and helps you internalize language rhythm when you follow along with the music. Here's method 4, intuition training exercise. When you encounter new English, ask, does this sound right? Instead of, is this grammatically correct? Train yourself to trust your developing intuition. Let me again explain this. The reason why your intuition can develop is because when you were at the beginner stage, when you were at the lower intermediate stage, you did put tons upon tons of grammar rules inside. Now you're trusting your brain to apply them. You're still going to be learning grammar throughout your journey, but now we're not focusing on that as the determining factor for your speaking. Now we're letting your intuition kick in. Here's method number 5. No translation immersion. Force yourself into English-only contexts where translation is impossible. This activates right brain direct processing because analytical left brain translation can't keep up. Again, immerse yourself in situations where you cannot translate. You have to start off with English. So again, these are the 5 ways to activate right brain processing. But we have 2 other parts. Before we get to the 3rd part, I want to remind you this lesson is coming to you sponsored by my course, the 365-Day English Study Plan. If you want to keep studying with me, I have a lesson for you for the entire year. 365 lessons to take you from intermediate to advanced. Go to speakenglishwiththiffany.com/365 plan. Again, if you want to study and learn exactly how to go from intermediate to the advanced English learner level by following lessons that have already been created for you. You don't have to do any extra work. Go to www.speakenglishwiththiffany.com/365 plan and enroll today. All right, so here is part number 3. Integrated brain function, combining analytical and intuitive processing. This is where it gets interesting. Your left brain is still important. We're not saying to do away with the left brain. We're saying that the left brain is important and the right brain. Now we're talking about integrating them. So the goal isn't to abandon left brain thinking entirely. It's to integrate both hemispheres appropriately. The right brain should handle automatic, intuitive speaking, while the left brain monitors for errors and refines output. Advanced speakers fluidly switch between intuitive production and analytical editing. This integration creates both fluency and accuracy. Let me give you the 3 reasons why, okay? Why brain integration, left brain and right brain, creates advanced English proficiency. Here we go. Number 1, you combine speed and accuracy. Right brain provides fluent, fast production. Left brain provides quality control and refinement. Together, they create skilled performance. Reason number 2, you develop self-correction. Integration lets you speak fluently while noticing errors as you go, then naturally self-correcting without stopping the flow of speech. It happens. I have watched my students literally. I'll start them at step 1, stop focusing on the left brain. I won't say left brain, but hey, stop analyzing, just speak. Right brain. And then all of a sudden they start correcting themselves over time and improving without the stress. And reason number 3, you access full cognitive resources. Using both hemispheres means you have more brain power available, making English feel easier and more natural. This is powerful. Now your question is, Tiff, how do we do this? Here we go. 5 methods. Again, how to integrate both brain hemispheres. Method number 1, speak then analyze method. So first, I want you to speak intuitively without planning, using the right brain. After finishing, then analyze what you said for errors, activating the left brain. This trains both systems sequentially. Just start speaking. After you speak, then analyze. Method number 2, fluency, accuracy, balance. Alternate practice, focus. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, prioritize fluency and speed, the right brain. Tuesday and Thursday, focus on accuracy and refinement, the left brain. So switch between the two and focus on a different side each day. Method number 3 is multisensory learning integration. Engage multiple senses simultaneously. Write English words while saying them aloud. Watch videos with English captions while repeating phrases, or use tactile methods like flashcards you physically manipulate. Multiple sensory inputs create stronger neural pathways. Not just reading, but reading and speaking. Not just watching, but watching and speaking. Not just writing, but writing and speaking. Multisensory learning integration. Method number 4, novelty and variety practice. Change your learning environment and methods regularly. Study in different locations, use different resources, and vary your practice activities. Novelty triggers dopamine release, which enhances neuroplasticity and memory formation. If you're used to studying in this one environment, go somewhere else. All of a sudden, you have different stimulations, different things happening. You're like, oh, wait a minute. And your brain starts becoming more active. So novelty and variety practice. And method number 5, social learning engagement. So practice English in social contexts, language exchanges, group classes, or online communities. Social interaction activates additional brain regions and emotional investment, creating stronger memory consolidation than solo study. I can still, to this day, remember, and this was almost 15 or 16 years ago, I used to say chincha, which means really in Korean. When I was first learning Korean, I remember the first time the pastor at the school I was working at said, "You say chincha a lot." That was an emotional connection. Like, oh, he recognized that I'm trying to use this phrase a lot. He's recognizing I'm saying it right. I still remember that moment to this day. So use the words in real social situations. All right. Part number 4. Part number 4 is also important. Implicit learning strategies. Acquiring English like children do. I love this. So let me explain. Implicit learning means acquiring language unconsciously through exposure and use, rather than through explicit study of rules. Children use implicit learning exclusively and become fluent without studying. Adults can leverage implicit learning while maintaining their analytical advantages, creating faster acquisition than pure rule-based study. Learn in real situations, implicit, not necessarily studying a book, just learning as it comes to you. There are 3 reasons why. Reasons why implicit learning outperforms explicit study. Number 1, you reduce performance anxiety. Implicit learning happens without pressure or fear of mistakes. This reduces speaking anxiety because you're not consciously evaluating every word, allowing natural expression to flow. You're just letting it flow. You're not concerned. You're not worried about every word coming out of your mouth. Reason number 2, you develop contextual understanding. Implicit learning teaches you how words and phrases work in real contexts, not just their dictionary definitions. You understand nuance, register, and appropriate usage naturally. You're observing, you're listening, you're trying to use what people are saying. And reason number 3, you achieve faster processing speed. Implicitly learned language is retrieved instantly without conscious search. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I didn't even realize I knew that. This enables you to keep up with native speed conversations and respond in real time. Now, how can you do this? 5 methods. Method number 1, comprehensible input flooding. So consume 2 to 3 hours of English daily at your comprehension level, meaning you can understand between 70 to 90% of what you're watching or what you're listening to. Your brain will implicitly extract patterns without conscious study. So again, 2 to 3 hours. It can be a video, it can be a podcast, it can be music, but just consume it for 2 to 3 hours and make sure you understand 70 to 90% of what you're listening to or watching. Here is method number 2. Method number 2 is no subtitles challenge. Watch English content without subtitles. Force your brain to extract meaning from context, tone, and pattern recognition rather than reading translations. Guess, read body language, see, okay, I think this is what it means. Allow your right brain to kick in. Method number 3, natural conversation practice. Have long, flowing conversations in English about topics you care about. Focus on communication, not correctness. Your brain implicitly learns from authentic use. Use it, baby, use it. So use what you are learning. All right, method number 4, extensive reading. Read English books for pleasure at your level. Don't stop to look up every word. Let context teach you. Right brain kicking in. Quantity of reading matters more than intensive analysis. There's something that happens when you just flood your brain, allow your brain to have as much input as possible. Again, extensive reading, not overload, but extensive. And then method number 5, language through content. Learn English through content that interests you. Cooking, sports, science, rather than learning English as the content. This creates meaningful, contextualized, implicit learning. What are you interested in? Watch videos about that topic. Listen to podcasts about that topic. Focus on things related to that topic and you'll learn even faster. I hope this lesson helped you understand the importance of the left and the right brain and why you need both to speak English fluently. Don't forget, if you want to continue studying with me, all you have to do is go to www.speakenglishwithttiffani.com/365plan, and I'll talk to you in the next lesson. You thought it was done, didn't you? Now listen, normally it's story time, but today I actually want to do something a little bit different just for today. I actually want to give you 2 quotes that I think will help you on your English journey, and I'll explain why. Here's the first quote that I want to read to you. It's from Winston Churchill. It says, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." And why am I saying this? You've been on this English journey probably for a while, and you've had good days and you've had bad days. You've had days where you felt encouraged and you've had days where you felt overwhelmed. You've had days where you wanted to give up and days when you felt like you could conquer the world. Here's the truth. Continuing, not giving up. That's what's important. Keep going, keep moving forward, and remember that you have an English teacher who believes in you. Here's the second quote, and I want you to hold on to these quotes. This one is from George Herbert. "Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command. And better tools will be found as you go along. Never feel like because you don't live in a native English-speaking country that you can't speak English. Never feel that because you don't have a friend who speaks English that you can't improve your English. Never feel like anything about your situation should be able to hold you back from speaking English. You're intelligent, you're amazing, and you are more than capable of achieving each and every one of your English goals. I want you to believe in yourself as much as I believe in you. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you hold on to these quotes, and I'll talk to you next time.